Hi, I'm Kayla from Happy Pages, and today we're going to learn how to do the foggy mirror effect. It may look a bit hard, but it really isn't. All you need is a bit of color planning, a set of alcohol markers, and if you can, a single acrylic pen. A white or off-white will work just fine. Now we'll be using this cute little guy in our example today. If you're wondering where you can get it, you can get it on thehappypages.com. It's from one of our new books called Matcha Moment. It's a book exploring all type of different matcha-related scenes. Some are cozy, some are spa, bath time, others are cafes. It's really cute. Check it out. If you look at this example here, you'll see that there's a part where the mirror was wiped and there's a part where all the fog is. So the only difference really is the saturation and color of each section. So if you look here, you see the bubbles and the colors are quite vibrant. And then if you go in the foggy part, it's the same color really, just a lighter version of that. In every color you have, for example, the type of brown, orange of the bear, you need the equivalent in a lighter tone. Now, let's say you have a small color set or you think you don't have enough. Don't worry about it. Just grab something that you think is the closest possible, because at the end, when you go over it with the acrylic, it's really going to bring it all together. Let's get started. So the first thing you're going to do is draw a shape. Now the shape should be something similar to when you wipe a mirror or a glass. What I'm doing here is adding little drop marks as well. That's totally optional. The effect will still work just fine. Just keep in mind that the larger the area is, or the more objects that is within the area, the more sets of colors you will need. So you'll need one set of colors, let's say for the mask, like I'm doing here, that is a saturated part. And then you'll need a second set of colors for the part of the mask that is behind the mist or the fog, which is a lot lighter, less saturated. So if you don't feel like getting two sets of markers for every section of the character or the drawing, just keep that wiped part constrained to a certain area. I'm coloring in the candle and the matcha glass in just that pastel, light, non-saturated tone because there is no wiped area in that section. So I did save myself choosing another set of colors for that. And here I'm coloring in the bear again with a saturated tone, and I'm going around the area I drew. It's totally normal if it's not perfect or if you pass your lines, it's okay. The end result is still going to look good. It's just the same as coloring any other page where you think you made a lot of mistakes and it looks crazy and you say, how is this ever gonna look good? Well, just trust the process. In the end, it will look good. Keep in mind, I'm purposely not sharing color codes just because you don't need it. I want you to understand the concept of it, or the theory rather than what color code to use exactly, because you can do this effect or any effect with any set of markers. It doesn't mean you need Copic, it doesn't mean you need Ohuhu markers. Any marker will work, so long as it's decent quality. So if you're not used to this and you follow codes a lot, I suggest you just start trusting your eyes and just trying to match it visually. Now I'm doing the bubbles. The bubbles are a bit tricky just because by default a bubble is quite pastel. So in this example, I'm using the lightest, most pastel combos I can use on the misted area. And then I will use one that is slightly more saturated on the wiped area. So the contrast may not be as stark as the other sections or the other areas, but it still works quite well. If you have trouble with bubbles or they never look quite right, I suggest going over the bubbles before with the blender marker and then afterwards. It really helps. Over here, I am coloring the tub part with a really light porcelain color. I do sometimes leave sections white, but for this one, I just felt compelled to just fill it with a porcelain base color. I think it just looks nicer. I'm doing the same thing here with the mug and the candle. Just a basic color to just cover it up. Now I'm doing the background. I chose a lilac color for the saturated part and then a grayed out lilac color. Why I chose it? I don't know, I just like it. I think it'll make a nice contrast. So as you can see, I'm just following those lines and it's not perfect. You see a bit of bleed through, but the effect will work, I promise you. And now I'm just filling in the rest of the page with that gray lilac color. I find it always very tricky to do this if your pen is anywhere near dried out. So if you have a large surface area to cover, just keep that in mind. Make sure it's not one of your markers that you use all the time, because there are high chances that it may run out while you're filling in the background. Now it's time to add some detail. So to help this effect come through, the idea is to put details on the parts that are saturated / wiped, and everywhere else we will not put any shadow, no nothing. It's a super counterintuitive because we're always taught to put highlights and shadows in every part of the image, but for this example, only on the saturated parts will you add shadows. Here I'm just adding a bit of acrylic pen just because I like the look of it. It gives a nice contrast. Putting lighter greens and darker greens, and finally a bit of yellow. I find yellow always looks amazing with green. And then here I'm just highlighting the drips just to make them look a bit more real. And now is the part that really makes it come together. So when you go with your acrylic pen, or you know what, if you don't have acrylic pen marker, you can also use a gel pen. It just might take longer to fill the black lines. So here you see I actually changed my marker because it was just pilling. So I'm just going over all the black lines that are behind the mist or the fog, however you want to call it. So the idea isn't necessarily to totally cover the black lines. A little bit could come through. And in fact, I find that when a little bit does come through, it looks a little bit more believable. Because behind the mist, you might not see hard outlines, but you'll see some sort of outline. So whether you cover it all or not, or half the lines are well covered and the other half aren't, it looks good either way, in my opinion. Now I'm just filling in the bubbles lastly, and we'll be more or less done. In this example, I did forget to put highlights on the saturated area. Don't be like me, put in your highlights. You'll see that I'll put them at the end in the final reveal. But it happens to the best of us, so don't forget your highlights. And here it is. I could have spent more time on it. I could have been more careful, but I wanted to enjoy myself first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.